Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again, Cheap Shot Nation. This is Quick Shot Reviews, the dedicated movie channel of Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. As ever, I am your host, Luke. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the newer films that's been released. It is currently available on Disney Plus, and it is The Kingsman, a prequel to The Kingsman of the The Golden Circle, and it came out in 2021 and directed by Matthew Vaughn. So, if you want to hear what I thought of this movie, which I saw in the cinema, and it's really good, I thought. So, if you want to hear my full thoughts and a little bit of background on it, join me for the main part of the video. But first, don't forget to click subscribe and join us for more movie reviews in the near future. So, The Kingsman, rather, is, like I say, 2021 release, directed by Matthew Vaughn, starring Ralph Fiennes as Orlando Oxford, Gemma Arterton as Polly, the chambermaid maid kind of thing, and Rhys Ifans as Grigory Rasputin, a great character in this film, if I may say so. Someone who has one of the greatest fight scenes I have ever seen choreographed on film. Harris Dickinson as Conrad Oxford, uh, Dajmon Hansu as Shola, Peter York as Camp Guard number 2, and Matthew Good as Morton, with Charles Dance as Kirchner, and Alexandra Maria Lara as Emily Oxford, who only appears in the film a couple of times. So, The Kingsman, set as a prequel to the Kingsman franchise, is compelling and exceptional and really enjoyable thanks to the fine acting skills of Ralph Fiennes. Unlike the previous fare of tightly woven action-packed spy parodies that Kingsman fans have come to love, this prequel shifts gears into a heavier tone and takes place in the timeline of World War One. It's a lot grimmer. It's darker, and the shifting tone combined with the need for greater character development unfortunately slows down the build-up of the story. So basically, unlike the original Kingsman films, the first two, it doesn't just go straight into it and start karate chopping and throwing shoes and all that kind of stuff. There's a bit more of a narrative, and like I say, it's interwoven with the narrative of World War One, and a lot of the things that it's interwoven with, it's done very cleverly, did actually happen. You have to go and look these things up, people, because they did happen. But I'd recommend this film absolutely. So the grief and the grimness of the tone exposes an uncomfortable balancing act needed to bring coherence of everything together. It's comical, but not quite as comical as the first two. But then, because it's set in the timeline it's set in, it's going to be really difficult to do that. The story builds around Ralph Fiennes, whose character is a pacifist and doesn't want anything to do with war, wants to finish it, wants to end it all, and he wants to remain invisible and his secret service invisible. And that is the Kingsman, of course. Capable of breaking secret codes, which they do. So throughout the film, you see little bits of uh, people coming together from different walks of life, doing their little bits and doing all the stuff underneath the carpet, so to speak. European history lesson is very much in on the cards with this one as well, and lots of historical figures, as I've mentioned. So that, if you're a fan of history and a fan of Kingsman, this film is going to be a definite for you. There's a buffet of antagonists in the likes of Rasputin and Matahari, and perhaps one too many one-dimensional characters, but they just fuel the fire, literally, to move things on. Daniel Brawl's talents are sadly underutilized, and hopefully he'll get a bit of a meteor role in the next one. And yeah, The Kingsman is definitely one of the favourites of Michael Vaughan's Kingsman universe. It's the heart and soul of the franchise, in my opinion. So I would say definitely go and watch this one. Like I say, if you're a fan of Kingsman, you're a fan of the historical significance of World War One, and you want a little bit of lightheartedness throughout the heartache and everything else and the darkness, then this is the film. There isn't a lot of films that can do that because of the events of World War One. I will keep saying that it was horrible. It was a horrible, nasty conflict with lots of people dying unnecessarily and dying in quite horrible conditions as well. But somehow this film manages to take that and think, yeah, this is what really happened. It didn't, by the way, and make it more of a spy James Bond movie, and it works. It really does work. So my overall thoughts on this film are: if you like the Kingsman series, you will love this. If you're coming into this movie as a newbie to the series, then I think there's a lot of enjoyment out of it. There really is. But I think it would pay to actually watch the first two to get the idea of what it's about before you watch this prequel. Now, the prequel is obviously always supposed to set up and say this is where it came from. But in this film, the Kingsman Secret Service thing is already established. It's just not being utilized yet, and it doesn't have a name. So yeah, I think it doesn't really tell a story of how it came to light, really. Oh, it does subtly, but like I say, the more, the need for a meteor um, take on character development did take away from the flow of the film. Um, but it was ultimately very enjoyable. And I'd suggest you go and watch this one because it is very good. Like I say, it's on Disney Plus if you do subscribe to that, so you'll be able to see it. And with that, that is the end of my review of The Kingsman from 2021, not a Vince Vaughn film, a Matthew Vaughn film. I've got my characters mixed up there, my actual people mixed up, not the characters. They're not characters at all. They are real people. Anyway, um, so yeah, there's a lot to enjoy about this film. Go and watch it. If you've enjoyed my review, no spoilers, of course, quick, short reviews, and we aim to get everything done in under 10 minutes, which is, 10 minutes out of your day just to find out what's going off in the world of movies. Got a lot to get through, so hope you've enjoyed this one. Come back for more, click the subscribe button, and like the video. Join us on all social media channels, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Hiya!